السلام عليكم، أهلا وسهلا طلاب الأعزاء، طلاب الفريق السابع بالمجمع التكنولوجي المتكامل بالأميرية في كورس اللغة الإنجليزية. Welcome my dear students. Today inshallah we are going to speak about some very important grammatical point called parts of speech. A part of speech of a word is its grammatical category. Words are classified according to their grammatical categories, whether a word is considered a noun, an adjective, an adverb, a verb, a conjunction, a preposition, and so on. Okay, so the part of speech of the word is its grammatical class. Okay, today we are going to concentrate on two of these important parts of speech, just the noun and the adjective. We are not going to tackle verbs or adverbs or other classes of words. Okay, and all the words that we are going to have in the next chart are related to values in a way or another, whether these are positive values or negative ones. Okay, so here we have a chart in front of us. Okay, this chart is divided into two harmonious columns. In the first column we have noun, and in the second one we have adjective, and likewise all the other columns. Okay, for example, if we have a word as a noun, we are requested to get the adjective form of this noun. If we have the adjective, we are needed to get the noun form. Okay, so please, I'd like you to concentrate on this chart now. I'm going to read the words found in this chart for you, and you explain whatever difficult meaning you find, and then you are requested to fill in the gaps and complete with the different forms. Okay, compassion. Compassion. What is the adjective? This is your job, to get the adjective of this noun. Compassion. Generosity. Generosity. Of course, generosity means that you are able to give, you like to give, to give money, to give emotions, to give sympathy, okay, to give whatever you have for others. Discreet. Discreet. Honest. Kindness. Resilience. Indifferent. Respectful. Selfishness. Sensitivity. Tender. Tolerant. Let's now concentrate on the different meanings of these different words. Compassionate or compassion, showing sympathy for people who suffer. When you show sympathy and good feelings towards people who suffer, you are showing compassion. What is the adjective? This is your job. Generosity. Generosity, okay? Giving or willing to give freely, as we said. Giving money, giving emotion, giving sympathy, giving compassion, okay? This is some sort of generosity, okay? Discreet. Careful in what you say and in what you do. Careful in what you say and what you do, specifically because you don't want to hurt others. Okay? Honest. Always telling the truth. Among its different meanings is that you are always telling the truth. Kindness. Caring about others. Resilience. Able to recover emotionally after something bad happens to you. When you pass through a bad experience or unsuccessful situation, you show some sort of resilience when you can rise and get recovered very soon from this negative experience that happened to you. Indifferent means having or showing no interest. Showing no interest in somebody, in some action, in some situation, doesn't matter for you. Okay? Respectful. You respect others. Selfishness. This is related to the idea of caring only about yourself, not caring about other people at all. Sensitivity. This may be the opposite. Okay? Sensitivity means able to understand people and their feelings. Tender, kind, gentle, loving. All these are different meanings or synonyms of the word tender. Tolerant, able to accept what other people say and do. Okay, now the meaning of these words I think are clear. So it's your task now to fill in these gaps, okay, to get the noun out of the adjective or to drive the adjective out of the noun. Have your time, think carefully, and then let's check together. Now this is the full table, the full chart. Compassion, the adjective is compassionate. Discreet, the adjective, we have the noun discretion. Okay, so discreet, we have discretion. Generosity, we have the adjective generous. Generous. Honest, the adjective, the noun is honesty. Of course, that is silent. Indifferent, we have the noun indifference. Okay. Kind, we have kindness. Resilience, we have the adjective resilient. And from the adjective respectful, we have the noun respect. Showing respect and good manners towards others. And from selfishness, we can derive the adjective selfish. And from sensitivity, we have sensitive. Tenderness, tender. And tolerance, we have tolerant. Okay? Hope you have done very well in this exercise. Okay? Now, reading. We have a passage here called Subway Superman. Okay, we know subway. Subway means the underground, the metro. Okay, and Superman, that is a man with superpowers, a man who has done something miraculous, something extraordinary that we consider him a Superman. Okay, so Subway Superman. Let's check. Let's read together and check what this man did actually to be titled or to have the nickname of Subway Superman. Okay, first of all, we are going to read the passage together. We are going to concentrate on any difficult word or a vague meaning. Then we are going to have some questions related to this passage. Okay, it started as a typical day for Wesley Autry, a 50-year-old construction worker in New York City. It was about 12:45 p.m. and he was waiting on a subway platform to take his daughter home before he went to work. He suddenly noticed a man nearby, have convulsions and collapsed. Mr. Autry and two women went to help the stranger. The man managed to get to his feet, but then stumbled at the edge of the platform and fell onto the subway tracks. Mr. Autry looked up and saw the lights of the subway train approaching throughout the tunnel. What would you do? Stand horrified and watch helplessly? Most people would jump into hell, but only if there were no train in sight. Mr. Autry acted quickly. He leapt down onto the track. He realized that he didn't have time to get the man and himself back up on the platform before the train arrived. So he lay on the top of the man and pressed down as hard as he could. Although the driver tried to stop the train before it reached them, he couldn't. 5 cars passed over them before the train finally stopped. The cars had passed only inches from his head. His first words were to ask the lockers to tell his daughter he was okay. New York loves a hero. And there was no question that Mr. Autry's actions had been just that, heroic. He became an overnight sensation. Overnight sensation here means that he has become like a Superman. Everybody this night spoke about him, about his courage, about what he did, about his bravery. Okay, so he has become the focus of talk shows throughout the night. People couldn't get enough of the story. The media named him the Subway Superman. New York City Mayor Michelle Bloomberg gave him the Bronze Medallion, the city's highest honor. In the past, it was granted to such distinguished figures as Martin Luther King Jr. and Muhammad Ali. Mr. Autry was also asked to appear in several high-profile television talk shows. His selfless bravery, selfless here means that he denies himself. He, for example, jumped to the train track, although this may lead to his death, in order to rescue somebody else. His selfless bravery was also rewarded with money and gifts. Among other things, Mr. Autry received $10,000 from Donald Trump, a $5,000 gift card from the Gap clothing store, a new Jeep, and a free 1-year public transit pass. A Disney ambassador thanked him with a 1-week all-expenses paid trip to Disney World and tickets to see The Lion King Broadway. How did Autry react to all this? He said, "I don't feel like I did anything spectacular. I just saw someone who needed help. I did what I felt was right." Now, we have finished reading the passage, and then we are going to have some questions related to this passage. Okay? Read the article again. Are the statements true or false? Number 1. Autry hadn't noticed Peter. Peter is the man who fell down on the tracks before he fell into the tracks. Did Autry notice the man? Did he notice him before he fell down into the tracks? Decide for yourself. Go back to the article, okay, and try to get the answer for yourself. 2. There was very little space between Autry and the bottom of the tray. 3. Autry jumped into the tracks because he wanted to be a hero. Did he want to be a hero? Go back to the article and try to decide whether these statements are true or false according to the different details stated in the passage you have already read. Group work. Discuss these questions. I want you to try to ask yourself the following question and try to answer them for yourself in English in order to improve your ability to speak English. Have you ever had the opportunity to help someone in trouble or in danger? Dig deep into your past. Try to think of situations in which you helped people in danger or in trouble. Why do you think so many businesses wanted to reward Mr. Autry? Try to answer it in English. This is the end of the session. Hope you have understood what we have already explained here, and hope you had a good experience and a nice time. Thank you and goodbye.